John grips the handlebars of a heavy, gas-belching rototiller, the engine roaring against the thick Florida air. He is wrestling with what locals call sugar sand, a relentless, nutrient-starved dirt. For years, he was taught the golden rule of modern gardening. If you want to build fertile earth, you have to churn green cover crops deep into the ground. You are told you must bury it to build it. But there is a bitter, exhausting irony in this annual battle. No matter how many times John tears open the earth to incorporate that green manure, his soil remains lifeless, pale, and devoid of structure. Just a few feet away from his garden beds, the undisturbed Florida forest floor stays dark, moist, and remarkably fertile, completely untouched by human machinery. Nature operates on a different blueprint. What if the hardest, most backbreaking work we do in the garden is actually the very thing destroying it? The secret to permanent fertility isn't found in a machine, but in a radical act of surrender. We are told that chopping up rich, green plants and tilling them underground is the ultimate way to feed future vegetables. It seems entirely logical, but modern soil science reveals a devastating paradox. When you bury a nitrogen-rich plant like Lablab, you don't instantly fertilize the soil. Instead, you trigger a microscopic feeding frenzy that temporarily robs your earth of the nutrients you desperately need. This phenomenon is known as nitrogen immobilization. The billions of soil microbes suddenly face an overwhelming, unnatural buffet of raw carbon and nitrogen that has been violently shoved into their home. To rapidly break down those buried stems and leaves, those microbes must consume all the available free nitrogen in the surrounding soil. They lock it up inside their own microscopic bodies for digestion. It is exactly like locking your most valuable plant food inside a biological safe and throwing away the key. Just as your fragile tomatoes and peppers desperately need those nutrients to survive the heat. Worse still, the mechanical violence of the rototiller acts like a devastating hurricane ripping through an intricate underground city. The spinning steel blades shear apart the delicate fungal hyphae. That heavy machinery shatters the glomalin, the sticky, carbon-rich glue that holds soil particles together and gives healthy earth its rich, crumbly structure. You are left with dust that simply blows away. The answer to ending this cycle of mechanical destruction is hiding in plain sight, wrapped in the rampant vines and brilliant purple flowers of a plant called Lablab purpureus. It is a biological marvel. If you were to dig gently beneath this heavy, sprawling cover crop, you would discover a hidden architectural world that no human engineering could ever replicate. The roots form a stunning dendritic pattern. These roots stretch out in the darkness like the delicate, fractal branches of a great oak tree, weaving tirelessly through the sterile sand. Clinging tightly to these root hairs are tiny nodes of life. These nodes are pure, concentrated biological batteries. They are packed with specialized bacteria called bradyrhizobium, which pulls invisible nitrogen gas from the air and turns it into solid fertility. These subterranean living batteries are composed of almost 90% pure nitrogen. When we simply chop the top of the Lablab plant and let it fall to the earth, we sever the link to the sun. Photosynthesis instantly stops. Without the sugary starches flowing down from the leaves above, those underground nitrogen batteries die exactly where they sit, perfectly distributed deep within the soil. We don't need a machine to mix the fertilizer into the earth. The root systems have already placed the nitrogen precisely where the next generation will need it most, without moving a single grain of sand. You are capturing atmospheric wealth and burying it seamlessly, creating a vast network of subterranean fertility that prepares the ground for whatever you decide to plant next. It is pure abundance. To truly grasp the genius of this system, step away from the garden and walk into the native scrublands of the woods. Look down at the thick layer of fallen leaves and decaying branches on the earth. Does the ancient forest ever use a rototiller? Does nature ever violently turn its own soil upside down to survive the changing of the seasons? Absolutely not. 4 billion years of research speaks. 100% of the natural nutrient cycle happens right at the exact microscopic interface between the open air and the solid earth. Everything falls to the surface, and gravity goes to work. This is the profound law of successional timing. Hardy, rugged pioneer plants like our Lablab are naturally designed to armor the harsh exposed sand. They act as a living shield against the sun. By following this ancient wisdom, we stop fighting against the chemical mechanics of the earth and start aligning with its biological rhythms. We allow the natural forest floor to rebuild our gardens. When we finally abandon the tiller and embrace this chop and drop method, we unlock the deeply elegant physics of natural decay. We lay a thick protective mat of green leaves directly over the soil. As the torrential rains fall, the water crashes into this dense biological sponge. Instead of washing away our topsoil, the water gently filters through the leaves, extracting liquid fertility. Gravity pulls the soluble nitrogen and rich humic acids from the dead mulch and washes them straight down into the earth. It is a brilliant, zero-gasoline vertical delivery system operating for free. But the true, hidden magic is happening quietly below the ground. Those intricate dendritic root systems that died when we chopped the plant start to rot, leaving behind vast, hollow tunnels. Soil scientists call these vital pathways biopores. They are literal underground highways, creating perfectly formed compost corridors that allow life-giving oxygen to penetrate the tightest sand. These corridors allow deep rainwater to reach once compacted, lifeless ground. These empty root channels become the exact path of least resistance for our new, sensitive vegetable crops to follow. A tender young tomato root will naturally find these hollowed-out corridors and shoot deep into the earth, easily following the ghostly imprint of the Lablab plant that came before it. Inside those dark compost corridors, a beautiful microscopic succession is taking place. The dead bodies of the rhizobium bacteria aren't just raw nitrogen. They are highly sought-after protein snacks. Beneficial nematodes and protozoa swarm into these channels to feast on the decaying bacteria. As they consume this rich protein, they excrete highly bioavailable, perfect nutrients for your plants. This waste is deposited right at the active root zone of your growing vegetables. It is a perfectly orchestrated symbiotic system of timing and decay, happening completely silently beneath your boots. You are no longer running an exhausting mechanical factory. You are carefully curating a thriving, self-sustaining biological engine. You have moved from soil fighter to system orchestrator. But what actually happens when this biological engine is forced to run at full speed in the dead heat of a blistering summer? Can a mere layer of dying leaves alter the physics of the earth? The incredible transformation from burning sugar sand into dark, moisture-retaining soil involves a thermal secret that changes everything. It begins with a sudden, dramatic drop in temperature. On a typical midsummer afternoon in the Florida Panhandle, bare sugar sand acts like a biological furnace, absorbing solar radiation until the surface hits a staggering 110 degrees. This extreme heat effectively cooks the soil microbes, turning the earth into a sterilized, hostile environment where no vegetable can survive without constant and expensive human intervention. But just a few inches away, beneath that thick, sheltering mat of chopped Lablab leaves, something truly miraculous is happening. The temperature there remains a cool and stable 75 degrees. This thermal shield is the primary difference between life and death for the soil food web. It preserves the vital moisture that would otherwise vanish instantly into the humid Florida air. Over months and years, this consistent protection allows the physical structure of the sand to undergo a fundamental metamorphosis. It begins to develop what scientists call the sponge effect. As the Lablab biomass decays, it dramatically increases the cation exchange capacity, or CEC. This is the soil's ability to hold on to nutrients rather than letting them wash into the aquifer. You can see the results with your own eyes when you pull back the mulch. The pale, ghost-white sand has been replaced by a rich, dark, and crumbly medium that smells like the floor of a deep forest. This transformation is so complete that the biological soil now holds 5 times more water than before, significantly reducing the need for irrigation even during the driest months of the year.
This isn't just an aesthetic change or a minor improvement, it is the birth of true ecological resilience. The garden is no longer a fragile patient, it is a robust system capable of self-feeding. As the physical world changes, a deeper shift occurs within the person tending the land. The most profound evolution in this entire process isn't happening in the soil, but in the human heart. John stands at the edge of his garden in the early morning light, looking down at his hands, which are no longer vibrating from the relentless, jarring kickback of a gasoline-powered rototiller. For many decades, his relationship with the earth was defined by struggle. He felt like a conqueror trying to force a reluctant landscape to provide even a meager, stunted harvest of summer greens. The turning point came when he stopped trying to be the engine of the garden and decided to become its conductor. He traded his heavy iron machinery for a simple, quiet hand machete and observation. Instead of spending his precious Saturday mornings fighting the heat and the sand, he now spends them observing the subtle interactions between his plants and the vibrant local pollinators. The process of chopping and dropping his Lablab takes him mere minutes. It is a quiet, rhythmic act that feels more like a celebratory dance than a back-breaking, sweat-soaked chore. He watches as the green leaves he laid down yesterday begin to wilt and fade, knowing they are currently injecting a massive dose of biological fertility into his future heirloom vegetables. The stress that used to define his gardening season has completely evaporated. He no longer worries about the rising price of synthetic fertilizer or the timing of the next unpredictable storm. There is a deep, quiet satisfaction in realizing that he is doing less mechanical work while receiving a far greater abundance than he ever thought was possible in this harsh, sandy climate. His neighbors often peek over the fence, confused as to why his tomatoes are twice the size of theirs when he never seems to be laboring or spraying chemicals in the midday sun. John has discovered that the secret to a thriving life isn't found in more mechanical effort, but in better alignment with the existing ancient patterns of the natural world and its cycles. He has found a profound sense of peace in the middle of a rampant, productive jungle. This personal transformation has rippled outward into every part of his daily routine and his worldview. When one person learns to partner with the land, they stop seeing the world as a series of problems to be solved or resource drains to be managed with expensive, high-impact technology. They begin to see it as a series of relationships to be nurtured. This shift in perspective is exactly what our modern, hyper-fast world is missing most in this current era of transition. We live in a time of incredible global uncertainty. Food prices continue to climb, and our complex global supply chains feel more fragile with every passing calendar season and economic shift. Most of the calories we consume today are grown using the Haber-Bosch process, a massive industrial system that uses fossil fuels to manufacture synthetic nitrogen-based fertilizers. This makes our very survival dependent on volatile energy markets and distant factories. We have traded our fundamental independence for a false and dangerous sense of cheap convenience, but in a garden powered by Lablab and surface mulching, the nitrogen is grown right here, for free. It is a form of biological wealth that cannot be inflated, taxed, or stolen from you. Every time you chop a legume and let it fall to the earth, you are performing a revolutionary act of economic sovereignty. You are decoupling your family from a broken and extractive system. Furthermore, this method is one of the most powerful tools we have for climate resilience. Undisturbed, mulched soil acts as a massive carbon sink, locking atmospheric gases deep underground. The glomalin and root biomass you build today will stay in the earth for decades, cooling the local microclimate and cleaning the water that flows through your shared living landscape. This isn't about preparing for a global catastrophe. It's about building a foundation of abundance that makes your community thrive, regardless of what happens in the rest of the world. It is about taking radical responsibility for the small patch of earth under your feet and turning it into a beacon of stability and health For the next generation of life and biodiversity, the true cost of conventional agriculture isn't measured in dollars, but in the loss of biological diversity and the slow, painful degradation of the human connection to the land and nature. By choosing a regenerative path, we are reclaiming our ancient role as stewards of life. We are building a future that is not just sustainable, but truly restorative for all organisms.
Ultimately, the nitrogen myth and the power of surface mulching teach us that this journey was never really about the garden, or even the specific volume of the seasonal harvest. It was about learning how to work with successional time. It was about understanding that nature doesn't move in straight lines, mechanical gears, or industrial quotas and deadlines. In our desperate rush to get immediate results, we often forget that the most important growth happens in the quiet, dark moments of decay and biological transition beneath the surface. We have been trained by modern society to value the mechanical force of the machine over the subtle biological intelligence of the seed and the vast, invisible fungal network. But nature teaches us a different lesson. It shows us that true abundance is the result of many small, consistent actions layered over time in a pattern of mutual benefit and reciprocity. It teaches us that stewardship isn't about control. It's about creating the right conditions for life to flourish on its own terms, according to its own ancient and enduring wisdom. When we manage the biology of our soil, instead of the mechanics of our chemistry, we tap into a source of renewable energy that is 4 billion years old and infinitely powerful. This fundamental shift in mindset changes everything. It turns a simple backyard into a sacred sanctuary, and a common gardener into a philosopher of the living earth and its rhythms. We begin to see that we are not separate from the ecosystems we tend. We are an integral part of the cycle of birth, growth, death, and return that sustains everything on this planet. The lessons learned in the white sugar sand of Florida apply to every part of our lives. They remind us to slow down, to observe carefully, and to trust in the natural regenerative process. The deeper truth is that when we heal the soil beneath our feet, we are inherently healing ourselves. We are returning to a rhythm and a way of being that we were always meant to follow. Imagine a final sweeping camera view of this transformed landscape. The air is alive with the hum of pollinators dancing between the vibrant purple spikes of the Lablab flowers. Below the lush canopy, the thick mulch layer sits like a soft, protective blanket, hiding the incredible subterranean world of the soil food web from the burning, direct rays of the sun. Deeper still, the dark, rich earth is woven through with millions of tiny biopores, each one a testament to a life that flourished and then gracefully returned its nutrients back to the source. The contrast from where we began is absolute. The roaring engine and the choking clouds of dust are gone, replaced by the gentle, rhythmic rustle of lush green leaves in the summer breeze. The most powerful tools in your garden aren't made of forged steel or powered by gasoline. They are the living patterns of growth and decay that surround us every single day. You have the power to transform a barren desert into a thriving oasis by simply stepping back, letting go, and letting the deep wisdom of the earth take the lead for once in your life. The journey from sand to soil is a path of deep humility and constant wonder. It is an invitation to witness the infinite generosity of the natural world when it is finally respected. Stop fighting the earth with machines. Start listening to the story it is trying to tell you. Everything you need to create a paradise is already right there, waiting for you to begin. If this journey from sugar sand to rich soil changed the way you see the ground beneath your feet, we would love to hear your story in the comments below. If you're ready to start building your own biological wealth and food freedom, subscribe to Perma to Plate and join our growing community of regenerative stewards. Together, we can turn the tide, one garden bed at a time, by working with nature instead of against it. Thank you for being part of this transformation and for watching.